then once we do that, hang out on this live, and there's a button, and you click on this for share. This is live.
That's right, Mr. Chicago.
He's gonna open, he's gonna open again.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me.
Get him some backup singer. Check, 1, 2, check. Can everybody hear me? That's pretty good.
Freebird, check.
So you got Freddie in there?
I got what?
You have Freddie in there?
Who's Freddie?
Freddie Fender.
We're on. One viewer.
You're gonna sing?
No, Jim is.
Yeah, I'm just posting on Facebook, and I hope you guys didn't like you stop. So
No, I just put this in here because everybody's having a hard time hearing people.
just say that it'll be on. You're on this.
Since he was,
So it should be on.
buyer number one of the adapter and that he wanted to be, now the payback is,
He has to sing for his
gotta
supper.
sing.
Are you going to come back to the room, or have I got you up orange juice, water?
51 so far.
That better last you at least 5 minutes, Mark.
What's that?
That better last you at least 5 minutes.
Including Mark and Sandy. Now, does that include couples?
We got an hour. I told him he only has an hour. Mark has a tendency to talk.
And you keep vendors separate? Is that just-
How about we? Some people like this for the auction.
I'll clean up, just
Okay, good.
take a deep breath.
I can help. You want me to help?
No, because I gotta know where everything.
No, he's beyond help.
I know, that is true. I'll go back.
What's he got now?
Stay by my ball.
Would you believe me if I told you I brought a little bit of everything?
No.
This is a normal day right here.
Mark is the only person I know who brings one of everything from his table for a seminar.
Actually, I haven't even brought that yet. I gotta go get that.
You've got the seminar stuff is still in the truck. Right.
Oh, this is it. It was in the bag, so. I think I have everything.
Is that a heat sink for a printer?
Oh, I think
Holy moly.
everything is working, which is amazing.
Oh, that you think
What the hell when I jump out of the power?
It makes a lot of heat.
It must have been a work order.
What's this guy? Programmers.
I recognize that one.
That's, break only in case of emergency.
Oh.
We'll get these out. Yeah,
He's dying with work all the time. So,
This one's another one. I'll just show this one.
there you go.
This is
Gotta use the interesting one.
our stuff.
Shouldn't be too hard.
This is the kind of shit that makes me break things.
I used up all the bandwidth on you.
No, it's my laptop is just, I've got some type of crazy on that line.
Yeah, because you get set it down.
Probably the video driver.
All the action, try to push it.
Have you turned it off and on yet? Yeah, I'm just being safe.
Okay. Hey, Rich, how are you? Good. Good. Good to see you. In person.
Yes.
Are you guys doing the dinner?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're doing that, so.
And it's, the dinner's 15.
Okay.
The admission is
10, for example, tomorrow? Okay, so you give me 50? Okay.
Will you give us a heads up when you're getting ready to start?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Who's gonna be here in the morning? Because here's my dilemma. I have a video. My laptop, what are the inputs on this projector? Is it only VGA?
Because that's video too.
Because my laptop only outputs HDMI. So I'm wondering if I
There's S video again, audio out,
Well, is this kind of like is this a shared video projector for soft use, or is it something?
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody brought it, I think it was Brett.
So I'm just wondering if I upload my video to YouTube and I can use somebody else's laptop. I have like a 5-minute video that shows how I record my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So, but I want to play that video on the screen, and I can't play it from my laptop.
Well, I have the VGA adapter to my iPad, and I have the YouTube app,
Okay.
so if I have
You
good
could do that?
connectivity,
Well, don't you?
I apparently can, but
Yeah.
I don't know how that is.
Let me try to. Do I have an extra USB port right now? I'm not gonna do it. I'll have to do that later.
You want with,
Okay. I'm gonna go
So
next door.
we do that video from Marcy. You know, I he's reading about getting rid of his stuff as he's really involved. So he came here and I said, he feels like a breakdown. And so that, you know, all the members will come flooding back. I think he's what it is.
So you're saying you should have got them all after?
So yeah, you know, I thought he was just gonna do a little 15-second, hey, sorry, I couldn't come to the one. Congratulations, everybody. But he sat there and he just started reminiscing for 4 minutes.
I'm wondering, do you think he's maybe up to,
Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah. But you wanted to get on Skype or something like that. What's that?
I'm saying, yeah, that kid feeling.
Yeah, I should. I know he Skyped with me and Aaron when we did the CoCoFEST, the coordinated CoCoFEST.
That's right, yeah, you did the audio.
Yeah, we did that on Skype a number of years ago.
Steve, you're talking about.
No, Nick Manteris did it, but not Steve York.
Steve guessed it on the This is Skype call.
I'll have them over.
You know, you're. Okay, well, once we get the schedule, like, we're still trying to schedule about 6 or 7 people.
Really? Can you name names? Who do you have coming up?
Well, one of them actually is gonna be part of a triple interview, and he's actually coming here tonight. So, he introduced some people, and so he's one of the original, the first generation. And then we've got agreements with Talkmaster eventually.
Yeah, so flustered at the. Yeah, Twilight inside.
No, it's just like rehearse and rehearse. Let's go haywire. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Go take some Advil. No, aspirin.
Sure.
Okay.
You want an unwich?
Sure.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer about my missing apostrophe. Hey, Tim.
Yeah, those CoCoFEST.
The clear ones? Yeah, I made them. Yeah, the same one out there.
Do you have any more?
No, I bought a, 4x8 sheet of plastic, and had 116 top and bottom plates made. And, it went through really quickly. Now John Strong's doing he's doing really good cases.
Is he doing cases for me?
Yes, he is.
I'll grab that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I like your cases, those were nice cases.
Well, I stole that idea.
Did you?
Yeah, there's a
User.
there's a company out there that makes these things called Sick of Beige, because they were sick of the beige cases that they would get at the electronic store. And so they just created a system of top and bottom plexiglass plates with all different sizes. Okay. And so yeah, That's where I stole that from.
I could not believe it.
Because you have to do production. For those cases.
That's
So
crazy.
you mean the box video?
The box video,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and all the work involved.
Yeah. I've been at Crane a long time, and that was the first time I ever actually paid for a job.
Like take your own
Then
design.
yeah, but I, you know, to go through the sales department, the estimating department, all these
So you got
parts
to
of
see
things.
it from start to finish,
Yeah.
what's involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we were blown away back then. I mean, boys and I were sitting, wow.
Yeah, I'll be posting it to YouTube soon, so everybody can enjoy it. I'll be posting it to YouTube soon, so everybody can enjoy my box video.
Well, I guess I'm not.
And then another watch, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Also, Marty's video.
Is this your donation? That's
No,
another set.
no, must be another set.
That's another set. Those are the ones we got. We stamped, didn't it?
No, don't come from here.
Last year?
Last year.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what they're.
So mean.
Can you talk to this thing?
3X.
You know, another
I
thing,
would get us 2X. I'm gonna make a
correction,
correction.
which I was thinking of, it's supporting the set, because not all source of China.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of people.
No, everything.
Yeah, I thought, I was watching on production, like, that's good to see.
It'll be ready by 3
I got
o'clock.
some quotes from some Chinese companies.
Tony, are you going to announce or not?
But they just.
We'll have to check.
I sent them complete documents
Yeah.
that was professional quality,
Yeah.
ready to go.
Wow, they couldn't figure
And
it
they
out.
still screwed it up when they sent me back.
Looked at some pictures. 'Cause once
But I'd rather pay more
Yeah.
and get it done here.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, there's a lot of.
You gotta have each other right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll.
Your bar for switching places.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Remind me.
Oh, no problem. I'll save you some.
Awesome.
I recognize your face, but I can't put a name to you.
Jim Oakey.
Jim, are you warmed up? How much warm up do you need?
I don't need much. I don't need
Maybe here. Mike? You got it?
No.
You didn't get it?
No.
You're singing.
Yeah,
Okay, open it up.
The opening egg?
Back the knife.
Yeah, the opening egg for you, okay.
That's what happens when you get purchase number one.
Did you show, you had to see the picture you sent to, did you see the picture you sent to, Louise?
What town are we in, Lombard?
Yes.
Yeah.
First purchase of
Let's see.
Okay. Uh-oh.
So what,
Mr. Beard.
how do you choose the topics you do on your YouTube channel? How's that process go?
Like, I need a video out today.
Oh, yeah. It's need content. You gotta make something fun about it.
Occasionally something comes up and it's like, oh, I need to rant about that. Or,
Your blog, your.
He has a video blog on YouTube.
Oh, do you?
You are. It's fantastic. I love the driving videos. I wish you would get back to City Skylines. That was fun.
yeah, I've been meaning to, especially with the canals.
Oh, yeah?
The latest expansion.
I could see you just.
Oh.
I'm gonna create.
If there's been a couple, I've recorded them and I'm like, nope, I'm not putting that one up. It ran 73 minutes. Almost not accurate.
Well, there's me. I try to watch every one of them.
Yeah, I've got a couple of, I guess I could say loyal followers.
I gave up on Twitter because at some point I realized that nobody was reading them, so just takes all the fun out of it. The whole point of it, right?
Well, hopefully with my new video camera, better footage for the road coming here and going back and stuff. And I got a camera at high dynamic range, so I might actually get pictures at night.
Oh, wow.
Instead of just, oh, there's the odd blink as a line on the road that actually
Yeah.
reflects the headlights or something.
Good, so more, we can expect more, drive time video.
That's fine. So you talking,
Probably some point after I actually write it.
well, you've been working on it for years now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's just a running gag.
Oh.
Yeah, I started writing a C compiler, about 5 years ago, and
From scratch?
yeah, I've got a preprocessor that works, and that's as far as I got.
And then you were working on your own operating system.
I've been working on that for 20 years.
You had kind of the kernel, but you didn't have a file system, so
Well, I
particularly doing.
I have a file system that works, but is doing that is why I ended up making LW tools.
Yeah.
And then I guess I pulled a Knuth and worked on the tools and not the project.
Yeah, that's what that's called. So have you been keeping up with PhysX?
I've been keeping an eye on it.
Yeah. Is instruction something that you're interested in, or do you think that the System 5 Unix is just this for the company? I'm trying to get an opinion out of you.
Well, actually, I don't think it's the wrong direction.
Okay.
I think maybe some of the technical details and how it's implemented aren't ideal on the CoCo 3. But for the other platforms that support, it might be the only choice. So, because it's multiple platforms, you can't necessarily do the gimmick that you had with Nitrous 9, where you actually end up swapping the whole address space when you go to kernel space, instead of keeping like an 8K block that's constant between user and kernel.
It seems like it'd be easier just to fix and make OS 9 more Unix.
Well, see, the thing is, Nitrous 9 is about as close as you can get with OS 9 to Unix-like already. Just because of the way the commands and modules and everything is all conflated together.
Yeah.
You can't get more Unix-like without completely redoing the user space on it. So at that point, you're pretty much rewriting it from scratch anyways. But the basics on how it handles switching from user space to kernel space and so on is.
So we're talking about go back to physics?
Well, Nitrous 9 does it, it just uses that 256 byte constant page as a bounce. Physics actually uses the whole top 8K block, I think.
Okay.
Which is fine. It does work, and it makes the coding a lot simpler.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So I can understand why you go that direction. But that's a technical detail, right? Clearly, it's working.
Yeah.
So
I see it too.
I keep seeing Brett messing with it on the IRC. And since I've kind of inherited maintaining the GCC 1601 patch. I actually wanted the original patch version was for GCC 4.3, which cannot build on a modern 64-bit platform. There was a bug in the GCC core. It's not 64-bit clean.
Oh.
And
that version or?
The whole GCC 4.3 version.
Okay.
Because I tried when the GCC 1609 patch failed to build on my 64-bit Linux box. I'm like, is it the patch or is it GCC? So I went and built a native GCC compiler. And that failed the same way. So okay, it's GCC. So I ended up having to port the patch forward to 4.6, and that took some doing. That took basically all my free time for about 4 weeks. And then I got it working, and then since then I've ended up having to fix the odd bug in it, most of which were inherited from the original code. The original people writing it didn't understand what they were doing with the machine description and other stuff that makes it work.
Yeah.
So, and previous versions of the GCC core weren't quite as good at making use of that machine description. So the newer versions, they use it properly.
Oh, yeah.
And then it reveals bugs that didn't show up before because that instruction pattern wasn't getting used before.
So, one thing I wanted to ask you is you have a familiarity with the Fuzzix code base, probably a little?
Passing,
And,
as far as actually getting it to build once.
and you're probably familiar with that C-like compiler that, has been released from.
Yeah, that's what's his name there, yeah.
I don't remember his name either. Do you think there's any chance of getting Fuzzix compiled with that C-like compiler?
Likely not until it gets a little fuller language coverage.
Because according to his notes, the big parts that he's missing is floating point and bit field operations.
Okay, floating point isn't going to be a limitation for the fuzzy stuff.
Or at least the kernel
The
side.
kernel shouldn't be using floating point. The bit field thing may or may not be an issue, but getting bit fields right is nearly impossible, and almost nothing uses them.
Okay.
You're better off to use a byte field and then twiddle the bits directly. Because there's some unfortunate semantics the C spec wants for bit fields. They are very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can have a signed 1-bit bit field. How does that work?
Yeah, it's legal.
But what does it even mean?
Yeah.
I think it just gets treated as unsigned by most compilers if you do that. And
Implementation.
it's probably one of those implementation defined things, which means it could do anything from formatting your hard drive to actually doing something useful.
Coming up with the answer for the universe.
Yeah, it just spit out 42.
Yeah, it's like a 42 in 1 bit.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Geek humor. Check my.
I think it might have issues. I don't think it supports 32-bit types either, like long.
Yeah.
And I think that is where the kernel might run into trouble because some things like block addressing on hard drives and stuff probably need a 32-bit value.
That would have to be.
So if they're not already using a structure with 2 16-bit values and fudging it, then that could be a limitation, and that's actually harder to solve than it sounds. It's not like the code to do the operations on 32-bit values is pretty easy with the 6809, but you would need something, I think, to handle those 32-bit values.
As native longs in the language.
Because GCC 6809 does support them,
Yeah.
and it does miss on something.
Whether or not to do this. We're gonna go down in a big ball of fire.
Okay. So
Well, if it's gonna go wrong, you might as well go wrong big time, man.
Thank you.
Actually, let's do
You didn't say that.
David?
You want to? Yeah. Okay.
This one too?
Winter guy,
I'm
Tim
saying
is doing the other string.
You string.
My fingers gotta be good.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how well GCC 6809 does with 32-bit.
Okay.
Because it's actually smart enough to split them itself.
Yeah.
There's some stuff said in the machine description, it will split it and do it in chain operations.
Yeah,
Oh, is
my,
that the way
my
it has to
lecture.
be? Or-
Well, yeah, it does, but
Yeah.
most compilers need to can the instruction sequence and just feed that to it.
He's not in here right now.
GCC 69 can actually chain the operations for multiplication and division, which means you don't have to build a separate support routine for a 32-bit division routine or something like that, which
Testing 1, 2, 3.
may or may not be beneficial.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
It'd be faster to can a 32-bit division.
Oh, okay.
Of course, but it's actually, it's getting smarter.
Yeah, I'm talking into it right now.
The 4.6 generates better code than 4.3.
Try talking into that.
That's the news.
Okay, what about this one?
Oh, okay.
I'm actually amazed at how well it does with a 16-bit instruction set.
So you have, of course, it generates assembly language and did you make any changes to LW tools to support GCC 1609?
I did, mostly for the syntax that was already spitting out.
Yeah.
Because I would.
Yeah, I put it on charge and went to
We'd
lunch.
get it working
I
together.
came back from lunch and it was
didn't
ringing
know
and it
what
was you, I guess.
Use the GCC patch itself to not use the AS 6809 specific nonsense.
No, I haven't really been by my booth. I've been,
just, and since obviously I control the assembler.
I'm going to do a job, you want to?
Then I went to the VGA talk, and then I went to lunch, and now I'm
They
getting
have,
ready
it's
for
probably let us
Marlette.
wrap.
So when you added,
So I
Wait,
can
you
go
want, you don't
on
want me.
YouTube and see if anybody's interested in Thundercloud.
what was your goal?
Okay.
Relocatable objects and the link graphs.
It probably would help.
Because most
I've got
assemblers are written
$28.
monolithic.
Yeah.
Right.
Say for me and-
I did it because I was working on something at the time
They
that
run about
was
$78.
so big.
You want a drink?
You end up with a
Yeah.
10,000 line source file. And that's impossible to manage.
Mark?
And also because I wanted to be able to link different
Okay,
objects.
I'll try it
together.
now.
Okay.
You know, to keep things self-contained and not have to get it things together. And also I did it with an eye to supporting a compiler as well.
How are you?
So and you know, the
I'm talking
funny
to
thing
Mark
is
here.
that
How's
the
it?
object format that it uses, which is custom, because the existing object formats don't allow complex representation.
Oh, okay.
Where you've got two unknowns in the
Oh, okay.
what it does, it actually stores the expression reduced as much as possible.
Wonder where it's at.
And then the linker.
There's a microphone right here.
Oh, okay.
And there's another one here.
Well, I'm trying to think of two unknowns that are operative. What addressing mode are we talking about there?
Well, say you've got a.
I know, I'm trying,
You've got.
there's a lag, there's a
where
pretty good
you're,
lag.
Referencing two symbols.
Yep.
And if
No,
one
wait a
of
minute.
those symbols is local to the file.
Oh, okay.
So I can make difference between them.
But yeah, I gotta finish that up here.
So we're not lowering
Yeah,
Mark's actual. That's, you have two higher level symbols that have a mathematical operation. And you don't know the value of
And
each
the
of those.
assembler doesn't know the value of either one of them.
Yeah.
So now you've got two unknowns that have to go in the object file, along with the operation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I also needed that to support.
I will make, I'll make sure of that.
Relative branches
All right.
inside the.
All right, thank you, sir.
Sections.
Yep.
You can sort of fake it with a single relocation capability, but I found it, I'm building an object file from scratch. So I really don't just do what's going to be useful. And the funny thing is the linker, I batched it together in about 16 hours. Spent another 8 hours debugging it. And that's basically the state it's in now, with some additions and fix-ups over time, but not much. I'm amazed that it hasn't needed a lot, which is also why it doesn't give some useful diagnostic messages in certain error conditions. The error message in some of the conditions is segmentation fault. Which is obviously not useful.
That's the OS trying to be helpful.
Well, that's the OS telling you your program crashed.
Now, I remember a long time ago, I had posted the unraveled source code for Color Basic
Yeah.
as a text file that was assemblyable by the move. And I remember reading a message from you saying that, oh, you took that, reworked it for LWASM, and it took a really long time to assemble. Do you remember that?
Yes.
When that was going on?
And the reason it took a really long time is because the LWASM stuff actually will try to pick the shortest addressing mode on a forward reference. So you've got the PCR nonsense in there.
Yeah.
It will actually use an 8-bit offset on a forward reference.
I saw that.
Unfortunately, the way it does that is a bunch of algebra and equation solving, and as you accumulate a whole bunch of instructions where it doesn't know the length of the word, that just makes those three longer and longer to evaluate, and it makes and I think at the end of the one, I actually had it done its intermediate stuff, and it had an expression, the last expression for the line address after the first pass had 4,000 unknowns in it. So but then in the color basic thing, almost nothing is going to improve on forward reference, so I have it practically from now on. So, and then as soon as it does that, it takes twice as long as that did, which is, a quarter second. You know?
This is the most important.
The art of the must have, you say?
Yeah, I'd like to describe how to use virtue. It seems so modern. It's
One man who doesn't have a CoCoFEST.
My current thing is I'm working on somewhat protocol compatible with the
Yeah, I saw you.
I've actually got the core protocol working, so it works with any drive wire free client. Working on disk IO or time call.
Okay.
We'll work with those.
A time call?
Yeah.
That was my suggestion.
It's actually useful.
And boy, he showed it to me. I said, hey, and he showed me the list of commands you can send over the wire. We don't have a date time.
Yeah, so I've actually specified the protocol, and I've got a working implementation of the what I'm calling the core protocol, which is basically the drive wired 3 stuff without the additions Aaron added to the wire protocol. And a mechanism for identifying you're talking to the LW wire server, and a mechanism to negotiate extensions so that the client can figure out what the server actually supports.
So did you break it
So what
yet?
kind of extension?
Yeah, I had it all set.
Well, that'd be things like
I lost my
virtual
power battery and my
things,
laptop needs to be replaced.
drive wire 4.
Everything went down.
So those would be something.
I had it all verified.
But the way drive wire 4 implements them, there's a race solution that's impossible to avoid. You can actually lose data or freeze all the ports until one-to-one generates.
Another day.
Another one of those things.
Which you definitely don't want. So that's the
Well, at least it didn't happen while you were
Maybe
giving your presentation.
Network packets, like TCP packets down the wire or something like that. I also worked out when you actually send a variable length packet to the CoCo, with just a 16-bit length and then the data following it.
Do you have a delay after the length?
Nope, doesn't need a delay after the length.
So it just works, it's magic.
But I had to unroll the receive loop for those first 2 bytes of the length, and then
Oh, okay.
and then do the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way there was enough CPU cycles to deal with all of that. The 4 instructions I had to be able to fit the length to fit them all together.
Because you gotta know the size of the network.
I need to know how many bytes are coming in so I know when to stop receiving bytes.
That's right. There's no extra signal there to tell you that it's ended.
Right, and I needed to keep it simple so it'll work off any serial port, right? And not require capability to signal things like breaks.
Yeah.
Not all of them do that properly.
Yeah, it's too bad because that's in the protocol for RS-232. It's unfortunate that those things can't be used to simplify the drive wire.
Well, a break is just a really long 0, I think. That extends longer than the expected byte value by a certain.
But you can imagine a protocol that uses the CTS line or the CD line to tell the CoCo that it's the packet's empty.
Yeah, you could do that. Just most serial ports on the receiver you can't hijack those signals because you are just controlling them.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be. So but you could hijack, sure, but because you don't have any of those signals on the CoCo side on the pit banger, you can't use them.
Well, you have the CD.
Yeah, that's the only one you have.
That's the only one you have, so.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, the program that's output or input and wires out differently. You need to use it for transfer.
Yeah.
So you could use it.
I checked
it. The code to deal with that.
Thanks for driving.
Yeah.
And it's always in your hands to pull it, and so it's all.
What I really want to do is wires. I wanted to protocol integration studies separate communication so that I integrate all of the comm stuff. Multiplexing and that is a entire problem because it has to be basically shared out everywhere.
And they go outdated.
But there's also, this thing also has a bit that calls out that part, the drugs in various shapes and implementations that crash, you get a back trace.
So you
actually have to disable that.
Like because the user trainers is not showing one screen.
Launch drive wire, and then you can set the JVM back to normal, and then it works. It's really annoying. I didn't get that. Yes, that's the other reason. His original drive wire was great, pretty small.
Yeah.
Except for
I think Element, when you did that a couple of years back, we had the same similar issues using Wi-Fi.
Well, the only way I know now is
Java advanced any in the internet is serial port connection.
Because they're holding on.
No.
Next time.
There's a surprising number of things that use.
By plugging the street, just watch the other one for 5 feet.
They don't need anything like probing or more.
In doubt,
And
reboot.
then you can
Aaron
just
is
watch
trying
the
to make it any improvement, and he actually I know he had a miserable time getting the.
Yeah, I just, I couldn't wait to listen to the latest podcast before we left.
Oh.
It doesn't have to be inside.
Okay, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, because the sign, the sign right shifts two different things.
Yes.
That's the 1609 has two different right shifts, one left shift at the same time.
The other judge pages has been right here.
Yeah, because if you're clobbering the sign, if you overflow, you can clobber the sign.
Oh, you get ready here. Get ready for us. Oh, you I don't see.
Although the ships do set the opening.
Okay, so, let's say you're on the.
Yep, they do.
Well, the roll is there. The roll is there.
Actually, all of the left was, the roll and the ships set. Based on the carries from bit 6 and 7. Going the other way, I think it's. 12.7 usefully.
Yeah.
If you actually.
Yeah, so,
Maybe that 6x09 document actually gets checked.
Who's that guy?
Composition and physics.
That's Marty Goodman's clone.
Yeah, with the same type of charts.
If you remember Marty Goodman.
It actually has tested instructions I use.
He's also been called a possible lookalike for Elton John at one time.
And documents that in there, like what transfer instruction. And the 6309. You can actually detect what is used by doing because one of them will give you a zeros in here, but the other will give you all ones in legislation. I know there's some stuff messed up right with the better than all the that got fixed. I think you might have been in on that discussion. How do we prove it?
Yeah.
Because everyone was saying, well, T-Pole says this. T-Pole is wrong.
Yeah, a lot of them on the sources.
Well, initially it was very specific to the effective space. It gets to the top of the internal physical day wrong. But everybody who takes it out there says right from the top of the color basic area is wrong. And I remember that it took me a while to figure out how I could prove that.
Of just high grass.
So they come down on what?
Yeah, but they won't walk into the.
Without a lot of analyzer.
Yeah, but it turns out you can't. It was just hilarious. You can have a universe of wrongs. You can actually look at the wrong.
Right, I had done some experimenting on that a few years ago, where I tried to mix up the wrongs, so that I could have the last bank in the first position and the two middle ones switch.
But you can't do that.
You can't do that.
And that's actually not fair to the game. That's the wrong itself.
He was a big cat too.
I was hoping that maybe every amount of bank case segment.
Well, it does that for the RAM, so you.
Where's that my chip?
It should be able to for the ROM, but the way the ROM is on, only the upper, I did a select, only the select lines I could do, instead of the upper 2 or 3 address lines as well. And that might have something to do with the way it works in the land use, but yeah, you can move it down to the bottom half, but it has to be in the same spot.
Yep, it's like ignores when you write to the registry. Yeah, I wrote that up on the CoCoFEST when I scrubbed that.
Well, I knew about that when I was asking for, what did the vectors do, so I knew I had to use the 600 to 7FFF range to see what was wrong on those up and 5 bytes.
I remember why I discovered that. I was writing a ROM dumper, and I felt it would be easier just to dump the same 4K, or the same 8K 8 times, 4 times. You know, put the first section was like that kind of section.
Which it would be at one.
Yeah. I could have the same secondary loop.
But instead, what you really have to do is do a ROM RAM and use different blocks than the normal ROM copies to, and then dump that. If you want to do it, use relatively simple. Because the ROM RAM copy is really easy. You just map the blocks you want to copy it to the same area where the ROM has to do it. And then put the map back and then go back to basic and then you can save things. Yeah. Yeah. But that's about the fastest way to do it. You gotta bounce it, that's the only way if you wanna actually use this basic to save files. Yeah, it'd be so much nicer if you juggle the ROMs around.
Juggle the ROMs around, yeah.
But it's because the 7 bits for address and 32K internal ROM are brought directly on the bus. They don't actually go through the gimme selection logic. I checked the schematic, but I wondered about that, and why is it that way? That's the only reason it would be that way. Because the gimme determines what the ROM is enabled or not, and that's it.
Right, they would have to special case that for the ROM inside the gimme and.
Yeah, and also, you'd have the same problem trying to do that for the cartridge port for external ROM. So they would have had to have extra hardware to handle that, and I think that's why they didn't. And then they said, okay, we should probably just make all the ROMs remain the same. But they could have done the banking on the 32K ROM and the cartridge port too, but it doesn't work better either.
I'm surprised you haven't switched to what
So
it says.
I still have to get you a patch to LWASM for the linker patch. I owe you that for the color basic loader.
Yes,
Because I'm sure somebody at some point.
someone's gonna ask why it's not in there, it's in the assembler, yeah.
And
It's not the only one that's in there in the, I think there's another one that's in the assembler, not in the linker. But I think that one doesn't make sense to put in the linker.
yeah, I like completeness.
And really, it's almost identical code, so, for the other.
Oh, yeah, it will be, it'll be very much a copy and paste.
Yeah, well, it's just that part of the linker is basically the same.
Yeah, but the only thing that's stopping me from writing it is I have to write 2 assembly files to assemble and then link together to test it.
Well, actually,
Well, I want to test it, you want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. Or is it?
Well, you're not
so
gonna
late
change
in
the
the stage?
linker.
You guys in charge of video?
Yeah, you're right.
You're just.
Well,
it's
Tim's
just
doing
the
one
output.
too, so we got 2 alternative streams.
It's already linked by the time it gets to the output. It does everything in memory and then dumps the output. Sure.
Well, you're right, I
And you
don't
just
have
did
that.
update the drivers, you can see
Yeah,
the
so
camera.
you could do, take any normal file, send it to the optical. And
I mean, just before we can run it.
something
I was kind of proud of that. That's what I'm
well, if you wanted to load in active color.
Right, you're right. Plus I could get more numbers on a line. because it was more, okay.
Well, no, it was. Next year on
Thank
average,
you.
packed better because you don't have any 3-digit
More one-digit numbers.
But, it does make the code for reading more complex.
See, you're in that briefly.
Because you have to deal with strings.
Yeah, the NH.
Yeah.
Now, what if I wrote 8-bit
Very cool.
characters?
Mark,
That would fail
you want me to go on now to the other room? That you're ready?
Right, and the quotation mark handles such.
I don't.
This is because if you have a straight when you're
How are you?
Right.
So probably decimal.
So you can't actually.
Remember how to do it once?
Then, yeah, that's as good as I can get, unless I move it a heck of a lot closer.
And,
He's a good guy. Did he kind of disappear offline for around the same time?
So what I could
Well, he
do
switched
is
it.
have a block
I
of
got the
binary.
lights up, because we had more lights on above them too, but I think the problem is maybe you turn down the.
We kind of split off. I remember about this now.
Line down to 200.
I'm also using a, you won't see a lot.
Basic loader was load the next back.
Was he doing much online stuff or like with the Facebook book?
Not too much. We don't listen. And he gets some Skype.
Oh, that's low.
I'll show you how.
Just talk back and forth. Tim's better.
How many get this?
Because what you do is you put your binary code on there.
That's it. Thank you.
It all comes down if you push enough buttons often enough, sooner or later you figure something out.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm not in. Mark, do you want to use the application? It would be better from us.
We're giving it up.
Do an Ozzy Osbourne concert thing too. Start singing away.
I got a question about those trophies. Now, I told Boise.
Test.
Boise brought them to me. Oh. John Mark. That's what I thought. Well,
This house is
I
pretty
just
cool.
think Boise. No, you know, last year I did the same thing. I mixed them two up. Son of a gun. But I told them in the first place, I get me one for myself, and a couple more for the guy that I keep up. Now, we only charge $12.
Test.
These things are the ones that are for the club. He did. So that's quite a bit of money. And I told him to get
an engineer.
There you go.
each one was $12.
Yeah, there's two heights adjustments.
Well, it's 8 or something like that. But he said with the shipping.
Well, good afternoon. Start the Cloud 9 seminar, basically titled The Final Chapter.
So when I ordered, I mean, when I told him to do.
Make it intriguing. Basically, going to go over what I tried to accomplish this year. Wasn't 100% successful. I think I made great strides, but I didn't, of course, get where I wanted to be. So with that, the biggest project we had was the Super Spectral. Back in April of last year, Luis contacted me, and he said he is having some life changes. He wanted to know if I would take over his version 2 project of his RGB to VGA project. I said I was interested in it, but there'd have to be some changes because I didn't like the packaging, how everything went together. So I kind of started the investigation and started looking into the project. Some of the features are listed here, which probably most everyone knows. It's basically the same as the DE0 current configuration, except this one just supports the CoCo3 only. With that, this is the unit here. It's fairly compact. It's in this palm of your hand. Has basically the same features as the DE0, except for the screensaver, which is a nice little twist that Luis did for Cloud 9. Our current product here, this is a stuffed board. As you can see, it's very, very compact. This ain't working. This way. It's very, very compact. There's 129 parts in the bill of materials for this, electrical and mechanical. I don't know what the exact breakout electrical is, but there's a lot. There's 519 pins to solder in this first run that I did 34 boards, 18,000 solder joints, something like that. It's all hand placed. Work under a microscope. Do this. I actually can put these together fairly quickly. Probably hour and a half into one of these or less. I could do it. The mechanical aspects, the case is where I need to do some improvements. There's a lot of time involved in the front, rear, and bottom case and how that's manufactured. So on the next revision, I'll do some manufacturing process changes to allow this to be assembled easier on my part. The overall look of it won't change. One thing, and the people that have purchased this, thank you. A portion of each sale goes back to Luis to help in the future development of this product and support. One of the issues that you'll see is the SVGA connector varies in size, and I got kind of a tolerance issue on the back when you do the power and the VGA connector. It's a tight fit. I didn't have a lot to work with in the back. So generally, as a rule, just plug the power in first and then put the VGA connector in. It'll go right in. Try to do it the other way. You're kind of shoehorning it. You feel like you're going to break something. So, but other than that, that's some of the key features. Here's some of the pictures, captions I have here on how I conceive of a product, try to make it work, see if it's even going to fit into the case, do part selection, do some mock-ups, and the one on the right, that's actually Mike Rowan's. Thank you, Mike, for letting me use your device in the development of this product. That was actually Luis's, I don't know, how many does he sell, Mike? Two. So it's either serial number 1 or 2. So it's a great little device. It's used as a Core 4 development board that you can buy off of eBay. I didn't like the way the thing was packaged, of course. So I ended up basically doing my own Core 4 or Cyclone 4 layout of the FPGA on my own board here. And just various pictures. And that's the screensaver on bottom middle of something Luis surprised me with one day. So it's kind of cool. Again, various pictures of the device. And most of these are on Facebook. Posted them on the CoCo list, but people that can't see them here online. The Nightmare bottom. I mean, that thing is, I need a CNC machine. This is all handmade. A lot of time. There's about an hour in the front faceplate panel. All the holes need to be punched. I use a punch, not a drill. So I punch each one of them. Just taking the nuts off the switches is enough to drive anybody crazy, and then putting them all back on. So we're working on some improvements there. The the brick. I made, like I said, I made 34 in the initial run. I had 26 good units on the first run, had some manufacturing defects. I ended up fixing all of them except 2. This is one here that's bad, and it's on the J-tag chain not being identified, so I'll look into it a little bit more. I made 50 cables on the right. They're all custom as well to get the right twist to come out and up into the bottom of the unit with proper clearance. That's another issue. The bottom of the board actually sits in the unit to get the right clearance on the bottom of the unit for the connector, because there's very little feed access here. It's actually canted. It's actually tipped up slightly, 1/10 of an inch. So you get the perfect connection on the bottom. Just more, I don't like production. I like doing engineering stuff, but these are just different steps of the process of the build where I'm during the process of it. The dreaded front panel assembly process. Different screenshots. I'm going to try and do this. It's very risky. I'm going to switch over and actually show some live demos here on the machine itself of the real product for the people online. All right, we're doing good so far. Again, that's the screensaver.
You unplug the video.
I gotta plug the video in there. Start out with this screen. It's kind of one that I like to play around and test with. It has various modes. It supports the artifacting, like I said, just like all the other ones. You can turn the artifacting on, and then you can do the phase. Select here. It has a scan line mode as well. You can see. There's different modes of it. And then page 6. A good one here is. This is one of the color screens. Richard Golkin. Richard, I probably don't pronounce his name right. Richard Golkin or something like that. Guy that made one of the game engines. Created this program. It works really well. I mean, there's some cool features, and then you can do this color set, and then you can go to solid colors, red, green, blue. Go to lines. You can select different line patterns with different colors, etc. So that's one of the test programs I use in checking this out. This is the final one that I run. This is
Hard reset.
Getting some lines on this adapter, but this is what you do to tune it out. I don't have a manual written for it yet, but basically there's 2 buttons on the side, an increment and decrement button. You squeeze it, it starts flashing fast, and then it goes into a blink mode. It means you're in programming mode of a digital pot. There's a Atmel AT168 in this one. That controls the digital potentiometer, so you don't have to open it up and tweak each one. So, I mean, I can sit and adjust. Each monitor is a little different once you get it set up. And then you press the 2 buttons at the same time again, and it writes it. It's stored, you don't have to do that again. It's in E squared. Next time you power it up. it'll return to that stored value. If you hold the 2 buttons for 10 seconds, it returns to a factory default, so it'll just go to my midpoint settings. Usually the yellow black and the white black lines give you the most, I call it anti-aliasing. You get some herring going on, and so and then of course the ball demo, the bouncing ball, I could load it up, but everybody's seen that. Another Sockmaster creation that I use. So. Okay. I've covered a lot of that stuff already. The firmware development platform that I'm on a compiler that I use. It's called Bascom. It's kind of like a Visual Basic type compiler for the AVRs, which I have here on this screen. Or not this screen, on this development board. It's a STK 500. This is actually live, so you can see the heartbeat LED, and you can see through the case. I don't know if you guys can see that back there. You got a red blinking light. It's a little bit brighter than I wanted it, but that's the heartbeat, and the other one here on the is the power LED. So I developed all the firmware on this platform, and it's almost perfect when you recompile and put it into the board. I hit the 2 switches here. Goes into programming mode just like it would. So here's my digital screwdriver hanging there. So some of the screen stuff that you see, it's got to switch in between live. Mark, you want to check? No, I'm good now. So I'm going to reset it right now. This is a debug monitor, but that I wrote, and now it looks like the font's messed up, but there we go. I don't know if you guys can read that back there, but what it's doing is it's doing an E-squared dump of the memory that I'm using. And I can check to make sure the settings are right, what versions I'm running, where the set point is again of the pot, etc. So just a tool that I use. I have that on all my products, so it runs off the serial port on the devices. So, next problematic design we had was I'm working with Bluetooth, and I'm running with a microchip. It's an RN42 device. This is it right here. This one actually gets soldered to the PCB board. The one that I really work with, it's a development card. It actually has legs on it, and I can plug it into a XB shield and do development. I worked about 2 months trying to figure out what I was doing wrong and trying to get the keyboards to work, the mice to work on this device. And finally, I'm doing everything right. The manual says it should work. It's not working. I contacted tech support. We worked with them about 2 weeks at the initial level. At Microchip, which now purchased Atmel. So they're one of the same. And stumped him, and he ended up taking the case up to the Bluetooth group. And the Bluetooth group had it for just a couple days, and he came back and said basically, yep, it doesn't work. Yeah, we got a firmware fix for that. And we went through the process of getting a new device programmed. So I was supposed to have it. Now it's scheduled to show up Monday. So that was about 3 months of not wasted time, but yeah, it's very, very frustrating with that. Now this one here, the intention, the reason why I got different Bluetooth demos that I'm going to show you here. This one here, its intention is to go on the PS2 interface adapter that I have right now, because I have some spare I/O that comes out to the SPI port on that device. And I'm going to have this thing on a board that allows to plug this onto the PS2 adapter, and then also this can be applied onto the superboard, which I'll get to later on here in the development. This. Bear with me here because I got a lot of little demos here. All right, I'm gonna pop this demo up here. Let's go 10. All right, reset it. And of course, you probably can't see that. But basically what happened there was, I'm on the Arduino platform. Do a lot of development on the Arduinos or the STK 500s. So this is a Mega 2560. This is my Ethernet one. The actual Bluetooth one's here in the back. And I have a Bluetooth shield that plugs into the Arduino with a Bluetooth dongle that plugs into it. So basically what it's saying is the library's been initialized, did some resets, it found out what the Bluetooth map was, and now it's in discovery mode. It's asking me to do discovery. So I got a Logitech Bluetooth mouse here. So I'm gonna just push the discovery button.
Dave got.
I'm gonna push the discovery button.
I did. Yeah, you can.
Live demos. Reset. All right, there we go. So it found the device. Now I'm gonna start moving it. Do the scrolling, hit buttons left, right, position, deltas, so forth. And you can do it with a keyboard as well. I'm running the Logitech keyboard. I'm not going to go through that here right now because there's a pairing. When you start pairing, it works, it doesn't work. It's not smooth as I'd like it to go yet, but we're working on it. Once I get this working on the Arduino platform, then I move it over to the Bascom drivers. Basically, I'm not doing anything that someone else hasn't already done. So I'm using the Arduino as baseline drivers to then implement and write into the Bascom. It all works. I mean, Bluetooth keyboard, type away, just like keys come flying up, down. It works. The Bluetooth library is created by a gentleman in Denmark, and we're having some dongle issues. I think he's written it for a certain dongle. So I bought 7 of them, and none of them work for the next portion of it, the demo here. So I'm going to just go with the wired version of it, which is I'll go to the MP3 player first. I spent some time on this. There was a discussion on the list about sound generators and so forth, so I kind of started looking into what would be a solution, a good solution. I ended up settling on, currently, it's subject to change, but the VLSI 1053B chipset. I should have had a demo here. I I had some level conversion process. I was on a 5-volt platform. The device is a 3.3 device, 3.3 volt device. I was running way too fast for my converter circuit, so the SPI bus went south. So I had to relay everything out, go to a whole other platform, and I just ran out of time with the problems I was having with the VGA converter. So basically, this is already on the Bascom platform. It can stream audio to like the WizNet 250 device, which is basically this little tiny module up here at the top. And it can play the music in the background off of the ATX Mega, which is the device that's going to be in the SuperBoard and the Super SD. It's a 32 megahertz RISC processor. So it's got a lot of horsepower, 8 DMA channels on the device, SPI. It's a lot of horsepower. So just kind of a cool feature, and basically the interface into that would be drive wire. All the enhanced calls would be a drive wire based protocol to set up streaming, set up all the sound blasting at intervals. If you want to sort of a certain beat at a certain interval, you can set all that up through the timers and so forth of the device. Graphic equalizer, everything. USB host. That was another one I'm playing with. That's a Max chipset. Again, I'm on the Arduino. I never really messed much with the Arduino IDE. It has some nice features, but it's so slow. Watching all the C compiling that goes on in the GCC and all that side, it's amazing how much processing power it takes to generate 11K of code in the end. But it works. It's a great platform. Bascom, I can do the same compile, which takes about 2 minutes. I can do about 4 seconds on that platform. You can turn things very quickly. Already did the HID mouse. I'm going to demo the PS3. Neil. We talk to Neil, we talk, but we don't talk. So we got projects, and we don't really know what everybody's working on. So not stepping on any toes or want to step on toes, but I have this PS3, so PlayStation controller, and the intent was to be Bluetooth wireless on this, which is not quite working yet, but we're working on that. So I'm wired right now. Basically, I'm tethered into it. So let me find out which one that one's on. Reset it. So basically just saying the PS3 USB library has started. I'm going to hit the PlayStation button. Just it responded saying I hit the PS button. And now it's alive. So I'm going to do the different buttons. There's so many darn buttons. I'm not a gamer, so this is really foreign to me. But all the buttons are registered and reported here. Got the top hat. You got the top hat controls. 256. Which ones?
Well, what is that connected to?
It's actually connected to a USB host right now, and it's reporting all the information via a serial port back to just a terminal window.
Now, what type of hardware? Not USB host could be anything. What type of hardware platform is that controller connected to?
This on the Max 3421E. It's on the Arduino.
Oh,
right now,
okay.
Plugged in. You got the triggers as well. So I'm pressing the right one. 0 to 55 left. switches. So, I mean, they're gonna do everything. It's supposed to be doing Bluetooth right now, wireless, but not quite there yet.
Which Arduino is that?
2560 mega.
Ah, interesting. The Arduino Leonardo has USB capability built into it, some of it. So
Host?
no,
Infrared can be a device. Being a host is a whole different story.
this is definitely true. Yes.
So that's where we're at with that. So no offense, Neil, I don't mean to step on any of your toes on any of the development. You got a great device. But there's something I've been working on a long time too. So.
Yeah, both go ahead, because we want to buy multiples of everything.
You know, and the plan here is this will be either hooked up into the Super Board or the Super SD, and again, it's all drive wire. So great protocol, Boise. Hats off. So flexible. If it isn't there, make the protocol that you want it to be. So there'll be no conversions. Hopefully, some new games will be written towards this platform. I'm going to show you one more thing, which is even very cool.
So you've got a shield plugged in on top of the 2560 that's acting as the USB host.
Yes. Here's the pitch and roll.
Oh, wow.
So this is cool. And it's got force feedback too. So you can turn on the force feedback. But again, cool features. Oh, and then back on the drive wire. So basically, what you're doing is you're freeing up the CoCo to do other things. So you're offloading all this conversion process, monitoring of this USB stream that's coming out of this device, and it's an EDR stream. So it's coming out at about a 3 megabit rate right now out of the controller. Why a joystick's going to do that, I don't know. That's what it's doing. So what that does is the CoCo doesn't have to monitor any of this stuff. It just basically says, hey, I want to get a joystick value. What is it? I want to get a switch value. It just sends the drive wire call out to the X mega, and X mega says, here it is. Sits in registers or locations on that device.
So if you want to, let's say, have an action triggered when a particular joystick button is pressed, that means you've got to pull it, though, basically.
And again, the platform is interrupt driven, so we can set it up. It's all how you want to set up your device, and it's all you can pull, which isn't very efficient, or you can just say, hey, when you have something, let me know about it. It's all in the setup of the drive wire protocol.
Not to say that you have to pull a regular joystick on a CoCo anyway to get the value. Do a lot more than pull it, actually, but.
Yeah, you can convert and do all kinds of things. All right. All right, and the ultimate goal was to this year have the Super Board done. Like I said, I ran into chip problems, chip development. I couldn't get the chip set stabilized enough to move forward with a stable product in the firmware development. So anyone that was here last year, this is basically the same mock-up. The PS2 is probably PS2 is going to connect or it's going to go away anyway. That's going to be replaced with Bluetooth. So in the USB host right now, that shield is just a single port. It'll probably end up supporting 2 host ports on there. A lot of the tools, I got a lot of time in development of Ethernet tools on this guy. Some of the calls that I have are showing up here. I'm not going to list every one, but I got the no IP where you can have DYDNS servers, you have dynamic addresses. I've got servers written that talk to those actual servers that report back who you are, so you know where you're at. protocol, what's my IP, and turn around and it'll report that to you. UDP is running, so you can actually send messages back and forth to yourself. These are lower level utility subroutines. Your layer status. Everything on these devices is basically an INI file that sits on your SD card. It's just an ASCII file, and that's what the CF configuration read routine does. Goes out and reads that whole file. Basically, on the virtual ROM, what do you want to be when you boot? What ROM do you want to be when it boots up? That's stored in that file. Free sockets, daylight savings time, silly stuff, but all that stuff needs to be in there for proper time management. Send email, so you just do those calls there and just very easily send an email out. And this is a tethered, or this platform I'm on is on a WISNet 5300 or W5300 platform. And it's a wired protocol. The final solution target is going to be this one. It'll be the Wi-Fi WISNet 250 on there.
Wouldn't the from function need to take an address as to who it's being from, besides just the socket number? I see, same thing with some of the other. It says in parentheses socket number as.
Well, there's 8 sockets on the device. You have to initialize it. And you just can't do one function. There's a sequence of things you have to do to build the email. Trust me, it works.
No, I'm just looking at I believe it works. I'm just looking at the documentation saying, isn't there something missing from the docs there that's on the screen? But okay.
Missed one thing. One of the changes that always thinking, Sandy always tells me to stop it. Enough's enough. Let it be done. It's a hard thing for an engineer to do, is to move on, because I don't have a marketing guy cracking on my back. But one of the things that came up to it, and I want to move forward on this, is to allow the external device, or a super SD, or even the onboard SD that's on the super board, allow it to do a DMA into the CoCo's memory map. The CoCo is not set up to do DMA, so the gimme's in the way. So with that said, it's basically a big mux, and I control the gimme and whether or not, what time I want the bus to take over. But the premise of what it's going to do is, through the drive-wire protocol, you request a sector, 512 bytes. Normally you poll it, are you there, are you there, are you there? And then the CoCo starts transferring that block as fast as it can. Theoretically, Boise and I have looked at that timing and the best approach in which calls to use. 6309, transfer block moves, which way works the best and is the fastest. And theoretically, we've computed that that time will be 7 to 9 seconds. Current TC3 SCSI host is the fastest device we have, which is about 10 to 11 seconds on a mega read. Super IDE comes in about 20 to 21 seconds, just by the mechanisms and how it works. With the enhanced DMA mode, you can run in a legacy mode and then let the CoCo get 1 byte at a time, transfer, or you can set it up to allow the X Mega to actually place it, and you just basically request a buffer, where's it located, and it'll just put it in the CoCo's memory map. So the CoCo doesn't really even have to transfer the 512 bytes anymore. It just appears.
Are you using that line, I forget what it's called, on the cartridge bus, which tri-states all of the CPU and everything?
Slen B?
Yeah.
That one I use to take other devices off the bus, to get it. You can Slen B, when you fire Slen B, it doesn't even take the gimme offline. The gimme's hardwired in the middle between the CPU and the memory.
I think you can still get to the 64K memory map though with Slen B, right?
Well, Slen B takes everything off the bus, peripheral wise, in the cartridge area. So,
so it doesn't tri-state the CPU.
Doesn't tri-state the CPU. There's advanced signaling that you have to know is BSBA. When you start getting into the processor, when the processor actually is releasing the bus, so I'm watching the bus states fetch, what state of the instruction the processor's actually in, so that when the bus is released, then the X Mega switches the gimme out, and then I take over the address bus and the data bus, and I start blasting the data into the RAM.
Wow, the timing on that must be hairy.
Well, again, the X Mega, what you got to watch out for is the X Mega is so fast. It's a 32 megahertz RISC, so it does everything in one instruction. I think there's only a couple in one cycle. There's only a couple instructions that it doesn't do in one clock cycle. So I got 70 nanosecond RAMs, so I have to watch out that I'm not going too fast.
Right.
And I have to watch my wait states, stuff like that when I start writing into it. But there's areas, since I moved to the Triad, which is SRAM, there is no refresh anymore. So it's dead time. The gimme thinks it's doing it. It still thinks it's doing a refresh in vertical and horizontal retrace. So those are free times in blanking, video blanking time, that you can just start blasting. So you can just start hammering in those periods. Every 16 milliseconds, 16.6 on the vertical and 15 whatever on the horizontal. So you can actually go in there and you can actually start bursting more cycles rather than just your CPU time when the screen's being displayed. So there's little areas where you can speed up and slow down. So again, it's all signaling control, which is done in the Altiera devices. I believe that's everything I have. I didn't show my little MP3 development board, but this is another shield that I use. You can just plug into it, hook up to the Arduino, write the drivers, basically. See how it performs. If it doesn't perform well enough, go get another chipset and start over. So I'm hoping that'll do well. I mean, I did I streamed John's and Neil's podcast, that 3.5, 4 hour marathon one. Did as fast as the X Mega could do it. Still took it 20 minutes. So reading the file as fast as it could and jamming it out to the MP3 with no sync. Just, I wanted to see how fast it goes. It still took it 20 minutes. And that, what, 105 meg file, or however big it was, just monstrous. So, okay, with that said, any questions? You want to see the stuff run more live over there? I'm surprised it didn't blow up on me. Usually something goes haywire.
I read something that you can support something like 512 colors with your converter.
Yeah, it's all Luis's core. And it's basically an 8-bit conversion on red, green, blue. So 8 to the 3rd.
But the CoCo doesn't support that.
No. But it's the board is he is doing that conversion. So he's got a fine granular step. The CoCo's got a coarse step. So even though it's stepping at bigger steps, he's looking at a finer grain when he starts, digitizing the analog signal. So, and I verified that with him. I wanted to be sure, and he said, yes, it is. Doesn't mean you're getting 512.
It means
colors.
that as it goes into a pixel, comes out of pixel, it could actually have a little bit of, fuzziness actually from that CoCo's original analog signal. You still pick up on the.
Nothing's perfect, and I detected a few things today. I really pushed hard to get this device out, to get it here for the fest. So seeing a little waviness that I don't like, that I didn't see in the lab. I don't know if that's every monitor is a little different, everybody's power's a little different, but I'll be looking into it. So you gotta look to see it, but if you didn't tell some people, they probably would never see it.
I noticed on your board you didn't populate the JTAG port.
No.
If you're going to come out with any upgrades, obviously I bought one. If you come out with upgrades, you're going to supply the.
Here's the trick.
Here we go.
All you do is to take your 10-pin IDC, you stick the stakes in, you just stick them in the holes, and
that's tight enough to.
You just put it in and lean it to the side, program. So I don't want to add another and solder some more devices that I don't have to.
Right.
So even though it's in perspective, 10 pins.
Right.
Out of 519. It's only a couple seconds to go down it, but I just have the pin stakes in my programmers, and I just put them in, zip them to the side, hit program. There's 2 programming buses on the on that board. There's an Altier and an Atmel, and of course it's the same, so you got to have 2 different programmers, and I actually programmed both of them at the same time.
But because I got the Altera one, that should no problem.
Yep. Byte Blaster program right in. Yep. So if there's any updates, it'll be distributed, through the website. So that's another thing on the super board. I spent a fair amount of time, and people that were here last year doing that. It's such a versatile. You'll never get the firmware right. So there'll always be updates or additions, feature adds, whatever. I have an encrypted bootloader. The device supports the ES-128. It's got a crypto engine built right into the device. So I set my key, my private key, compile it. I can put the actual firmware up on the website. You guys download it, put it on your SD card, plug it into the unit, and it'll bootstrap right up in, and you get a firmware update, and just by plugging it in. So it's a way of distributing, fixes, enhancement, features, whatever, without having to send it in. Because I don't know, hope nobody works for the post office, but holy moly, it costs a lot of money to ship stuff around these days.
So if I put some the pins in that socket, does that void my warranty?
Nope. What warranty?
Good comeback.
Buyer beware.
That concludes her. So. Thank you.
Two photos.